Hello everybody, it's Charlie again, and I'm currently playing Tekken 7. And I am so excited to be back. Obviously this is not going to be your regular video playthrough because you guys know all about Tekken already, and Tekken 7 has been out for years. But in the spirit of the new Tekken 8, I decided to do a review on Tekken 7 in 2023 to tell you guys about why this game is still worth getting. And not only that, how cheap it is to get nowadays so that you could train and get ready for Tekken 8. Am I right? But yeah, other than that, let's get into it. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, to start off, the first thing about Tekken 7 you should know is that there is finally finishers. This is the first Tekken game to introduce finishers, and it is glorious, okay? The moment this was introduced into the game, obviously I had to get it. As you can see, those two characters there, I played with both. Guys, there's a cast of characters that are amazing. All fighting styles, everything. And as you go on through, you'll realize that each character is very unique to each other. One of the great additions to the game is Fakum Ram, which is basically a Muay Thai fighter, obviously replacing a character like Bruce Irving. I'm sure you guys remember from the classic Tekken games. If you've never played a Tekken game in your life and this is your first Tekken game, it's a good one to start with, because in my opinion this is the greatest Tekken game I've ever played and the greatest fighting game I've ever played, until Tekken 8 that is. We'll see how Tekken 8 goes. But definitely, obviously, Lei Wulong, one of my favorite characters of all time. And as you go on, you realize that the game has so many things. This is unbelievable content, especially for the price. Right now it is on special. It should be pretty cheap on most platforms. It is available on every platform, I think, except Switch, but don't quote me on that. I'm not really sure if it's on Switch or not. Point is that I have a large history with the Tekken games, and I can genuinely tell you that these games are amazing. And Tekken 7 is the only available most recent fighting game for Tekken series in the newer platforms. And if you played on basically, you know, any of the newer consoles, you could play a full 4K 60 with HDR. And that's the reason why my clips, there's a lot of reflection, and it looks really amazing. And it's because it gets quite an upgrade, but it's not just a regular upgrade. It's just beyond the visuals, the game's gameplay. It is so satisfying to play. Also, there's other modes, as you can see there. There's Tekken Bowl. It made a return. I believe the Tekken Tag games, one of them had Tekken Bowl, and I was praying that it would come back, and it came back for Tekken 7, and boy is it a good time. Tekken Bowl is so much fun, guys. There's Hachi pins, there's regular pins, and obviously if you get a full-on strike. Akuma is one of the DLC characters introduced. As you saw, he's bowling currently in this clip here. Yeah, there's so many things about this game. There is a full-on, I guess, roster. It's one of the best Tekken rosters I've ever seen in any Tekken game. But also the fact that it's an older game, but it looks like, and it plays and it looks like this, is pretty spectacular. There's not enough good things I could say about this, other than get it immediately, okay? And I believe Tekken 8 comes out, if I'm not mistaken, January 24th. So you have plenty of time to play Tekken 7, get good at Tekken, figure out how Tekken works, you know, because that is vital in the Tekken games. Trust me, it's one of the most difficult fighting games to master. Along with a few little nuances, you know, it does have the hold back, like Street Fighter games, where if you hold back, it blocks. So that's like the simplest thing about the game. Each button controls a limb, which is something that was revolutionary when it first came out for the first Tekken game. I started playing Tekken back in 1994, and yeah, I never stopped since. Tekken is the game that got me really into playing like hardcore, you know, fighting games in general. And there's really no complaints up to this day, 2023. You know what I'm saying? It's still amazing. And yeah, by the way, Brian Fury, I'm so happy he came back in Tekken 8, because this is a character that is really cool. And there's a few new characters that have been introduced, like Leroy Smith, which, by the way, Leroy Smith does the Wing Chun style. amazingly. Obviously, it's not completely, realistic to a certain extent because it's Tekken, but for the most part, this is one of the most realistic fighting games you could play, without a doubt. And yeah, so it has finishers, Tekken Bowl, great fighting mechanics, great characters. It does have its own story. It has several modes that you could play on. Ghost Battle is one of my favorite modes. I recommend playing that in ultra hard always. If you guys really want to get good at Tekken, play always in ultra hard. If you're playing only against the computer before you go online, it's very important. Trust me on this, okay? There's no doubt. Obviously, Hachi Mishima is the face of Tekken, right? Everybody should know that by now. There's also quite a variety of certain systems within each character that when you explore them, you realize the depth of the fighting mechanics, and great tournaments. If you go on YouTube, you can catch some of the best players. I'm from Lil Majin's generation. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of who Lil Majin is. He's one of the most famous Tekken players, and he's really good. I'm from that generation, so I play kind of in an old school way with pokes and stuff like that. I'm trying to get good at juggles. I never really did good at juggles, but, I'm learning. And there's other things, by the way, other features like a full-on soundtrack of all the Tekken games. So you could play these games on your own playlist, as you can see there. You can mix them up. You could play your favorite Tekken game with the best music. I have my specific favorites, like Tekken 3 to me had some of the best music I've ever heard. Tekken 5 had really good music. And there's also a creator mode. Creator mode, oh my god, you can create literally anything. I've created superheroes, from superhero lookalikes to wrestler lookalikes. Guys, look, just take a look at that. I'm using Paul in this specific clip. Obviously, you could do way more than that. And it's very simple. It's very easy to get into. It's not like complicated. There is variations of hair, all kinds of clothes, pants, shirts, jackets, and I think even glasses and facial hair, all kinds of stuff, which was something that was very, very much appreciated in my opinion. Because, like, let's say you want to put like Green Arrow against Hulk Hogan, or something crazy, whatever you can come up with in your mind. The way they did it, it was just genius, Tekken is a game that anybody or everybody should try, okay? And anybody would learn. All it takes is just a few weeks. And trust me, the gameplay is very addicting. A lot of people don't understand. The people that refuse, or they play fighting games, but they don't really play Tekken games, I just don't get it, because Tekken, I think it should be for everybody. I'm gonna put it that way. That's how fun it is. And with the introduction of finishers, like I said, a creator mode, modes like Tekken Bowl, reoccurring characters, new characters, that basically, there's a freaking Final Fantasy character in here, of a Final Fantasy game that honestly I didn't really play, that I'm slowly trying to get into. I might make some videos on that game. And there's just so much content, really, that I'm gonna go ahead and just give you a rating right off the bat before I continue my my little rant on Tekken. It's a positive rant. This is definitely a 10 out of 10, without a doubt. Tekken 7 is a 10 out of 10. And with all the updates that it's gotten over the years and all that, it is literally a perfect fighting game to play. And I have no doubt that you guys will come back and tell me, wow, I gave it a chance, and now I realize what you were talking about. That's what this game does to people. If you really give it a chance, that is. If you just play it like casually, like maybe a little bit here and there, hey, it's also a good party game. You can play with your friends, like I said, there's games like Tekken Bowl, there's modes like Tekken Bowl. So, but the fighting game, the raw fighting game itself, is very much worth it. Trust me on that. Along with that, there's also a couple other things, like there's all the cutscenes from Tekken 1, Tekken Tag 1, Tekken Tag 2 and Tekken 1 through 7. All the cutscenes right here you can see. You can go through literally all the videos. They're all available, so in case you've never played the older Tekken games, you can follow some of those cinematics and stuff, you know. Especially for a Tekken fan like me, this was like the most awesome thing I've ever seen. Just overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that Tekken 7 gave me. So I'm hoping Tekken 8 will, you know what I'm saying, stay on that 10 out of 10 content level, you know. I'm praying, because what I've seen of Tekken 8 is blowing my mind. Obviously, I think Tekken 8 is gonna live, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna become legendary for what I've seen. Character designs, the only thing I hope, why are they making Lei Wulong DLC? Guys, that is an old school Tekken character from Tekken 2, okay? And it's not just because he's my favorite Tekken character, but come on, it's Lei Wulong. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe when you get a chance. And like I always say, go get 'em.